Hey everybody, I recently found 11 different interviews, most of which had kind of the same questions and stuff like that, but we're going to go through it real quick. So, Capcom says that they went through tens of thousands of fan requests, most of which revolved around more playtime, more combat, more adventures in the world, and the DLC has been 2 years in development. The goal was to make the game more accessible and playable while delivering brand new adventures without removing the core pawn and realistic adventure identity. The new content we can expect is going to be in the form of Norgan, a harsh, snowy northern ruined kingdom. The new main story is going to be about 15 to 20 hours. It's going to involve blizzards, avalanches, environmental puzzles, and it's going to be accessible very early in the game after Vernworth, so the recommended level is going to be about 40. The 12 Lost Rites dungeons scattered across the base game, 30 to 60 minutes each. Recommended level 20, excellent for leveling and unique gear, and this is going to be items that were once held by previous Arisen, so this could be where Dragon's Dogma Online gear and Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen gear could get tied back into the story. The total new content, 25 plus hours more with relic grinding and exploration. In regards to the relic system and equipment, the relics are the core new gameplay loop in Norgan. Collect unappraised items, appraised for random powerful weapons, armor, and skills. High replayability, can equip on pawns. 150 plus new weapons and armor pieces added into the DLC, including relics and dungeon rewards. Character customization will be expanded in the form of new hairstyles, tattoos, etc. There will be a transmog layered clothing system that you'll be able to unlock when you get to Norgan. You can change the appearance of any gear, new and existing. There will be a toggle option available for players who prefer original looks, or just those people who are renting pawns and they see one set of gear, but they want to see what you're really wearing, and that is going to inform their choice on whether or not they want to rent that pawn or not, which I think that's a great idea. Quality of life updates we can expect starting in August. We're going to see custom skill slots increase from 4 to 6. That's much similar to how it was in the first game. I thought the first game handled skills perfectly, so I'm happy to see them expanding upon that. There's going to be an improved anti-stun lock, so I'm assuming that maybe once you get stun locked, there's going to be maybe like a timer or something similar to that, where you can't just get stun locked over and over again until you die, because that's not really a lot of fun. There are skills that could mitigate that, but not everybody is going to have access to that kind of a thing. So I'm interested to see where this goes. New pawn behaviors, that could be referring to the updates to Dragon's Plague and how it affects your pawns. I'm sure that they're going to add more additional behaviors that are not related to Dragon's Plague, so I'm very curious to see that. The Eternal Fairy Stone, people have been asking for that for years, and it's really helped me make a lot of the videos that I've been making, so I really appreciate that. Next up, we've got vocations and progression. Apparently, according to the Games Watch article, there will be no new vocations. That was explicitly confirmed by the director. The focus is on deepening existing vocations with new skills, more slots, and the relic system. So hopefully, we don't get new vocations. We'll be able to have access to new skills and new gameplay altering equipment that will allow us to possibly have some semblance of previous vocations, but that's just me spitballing and wishful thinking. So difficulty, hard mode is in active development. They're still working on it. They're still trying to wrap their heads around what that needs to look like from what I read in the articles. It is aimed at max level veterans, so I hope that that doesn't involve some sort of level scaling. It says right on the next line, no enemy level scaling, so I'm not sure whether that means the enemies are going to do more damage, things of that nature. The higher damage enemies versus high risk rewards that you got in Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, the hard mode especially, was very interesting. If you manage to survive every encounter, usually, some giant bag of gold would roll out of like a tiny goblin or something like that. It was pretty funny. So, and then clear difficulty gradient and new content. So it seems like from the 12 dungeons, it'll start off at a reasonable difficulty appropriate for your level, but as you progress through each dungeon to dungeon, it will increase in difficulty. Same with Norgan. You'll start in a level 40 area, you'll be appropriately leveled, and then the difficulty will ramp up. I assume, probably somewhere between another 20 to 40 levels. So maybe at the end of everything, it might be geared towards level 80. That's just a guess. I don't really know. But you do level up pretty quickly in Dragon's Dogma 2, so I'm interested to see how they handle that. So some closing notes here. We've got new monsters and environmental combat. There's going to be snow, visibility issues, avalanches, blizzards, and things of that nature. There will be an improved New Game Plus style carryover option, so I'm very curious to see what that looks like. A lot of people have had some qualms about New Game Plus and additions to the game. Hopefully that and hard mode can really come through for a lot of people, because I know those are, two big hot topics for the game. The Switch 2 version targets stable 30 FPS. They did say that originally the Switch 2 was not on the table, but when they started developing, they did find that the port was going better than they expected that it would, so they were very happy about that. And then limited post-launch plans beyond fixes. They want to ship a polished product. So hopefully what that means is Kento Kinoshita gets to spearhead and direct the third Dragon's Dogma game, and finally gets to make the game that, everybody knew that he could make. And hopefully we get a glimpse of that with the DLC. But that's all the interview summary wrapped up in around 5 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you down in the comments.